desert as we hit the Tagish Road going towards Tagish, so that we can head down to Atlin. And it's predicted us being at Atlin at 1 p.m. Current time is 11:15 a.m. Bella's overheating. We just did a wonderful walk around Carcross sort of town village. Very interesting. Again, everything up here is built around the gold rush. Not necessarily portages, but connecting sort of waterways between lakes with paddle wheelers that circumnavigated this whole area. Very, very interesting. And again, this mountain loop is amazing. So we are on, the locals call this the Tagish Loop. It's a triangle between Whitehorse, Carcross, Tagish, back onto the Alcan Highway, back towards Whitehorse. The Atlin portion that we're going to get to once we turn right at Tagish, apparently it is the Canadian Switzerland. So it's supposed to be beautiful. I've never been to Switzerland. I don't think Sandra's ever been to Switzerland.
No.
And so not sure what to expect as a comparison. My understanding is it's not so much the town, it's more the drive. So if the mountains look as good as this, I'm excited. I love treeless views, shall we say. And Canada definitely has a lot of trees on the west coast. But the mountains, once they start getting into that alpine meadow and then lack of foliage, is awesome. Just turned off the Tagish Road and we're now on the Atlin Road. 98 kilometers to Atlin. Let's see how scenic this road actually is. Canadian Switzerland. Holy! Look at that! Where did that come from?
Out of the bushes!
Wow. That's what, 3K in?
Yep, not even.
I guess I've never been to Switzerland. I'm going to guess Lake Geneva is the road that follows Lake Geneva. It's got to be something like this. That's my only interpretation of this. Wow.
Wow, look at that.
That's crazy.
Like all little flooded.
Plains.
Great for moose.
Marshland, yeah.
Marshlands, that's it. So as stupid as it is, I know I said that we turned onto Atlin Road and look at that lake. That is Atlin Lake. And I remembered it because when we were just looking at the Carcross information there, the steamboat would travel down Atlin Lake to go to Atlin and then bring up the gold rush materials for the miners. But apparently the wind is very severe at certain times of the year on this lake, and it's got hidden sandbars apparently in there. We were just saying that mountain there just looks like a volcano capped in cloud.
BC.
Back into BC. There we go. We've just left the Yukon. Now back into British Columbia. And this is the most northern town in BC. Changed. I'd like to say for the worse.
Don't think they maintain it too well.
So this is actually called Como Lake. If I get my map right, isn't there a Como Lake in Switzerland? Some floatplanes, look at that.
A father and daughter fishing off the dock.
This road has been very pretty. I wouldn't quite call it Little Switzerland. We're just arriving in Atlin. And we're going to go right. There's the signpost there we've got to get a picture of. But the road for most of it, I'd say 75% of it is just a treed corridor.
Lots of wildlife.
Yeah, can we get a picture of that?
Dedicated to the men and women. I don't know. Atlin Gold Rush.
Hold on, let me
Stampeder.
Let me just do a U-turn here and face it. Same thing with the camera. We're actually just looking at the Gold Rush Memorial here. Dedicated to the men and women and founders of Atlin. And then the Atlin Gold Rush. 1898 to 1899. Those Gold Rush things were very minimal in time span, that's for sure. So, let's go see if Atlin is as beautiful as they say. I mean, the backdrop for this place looks amazing. We have a curling ring.
Shell gas station.
Wow, look at the view. Bella, stop snorting. Trading post.
Wow.
End of the road. Let's just go down here. Actually, we'll go left down here. Let's have a look. Wow. I must admit, the backdrop is pretty amazing.
There's a tureen.
Yeah, so the sister ship. We'll go back and have a look at that in a minute.
Discovery Salon. beautiful house on the left.
Look at
Ooh-wee.
that, too.
You're okay. Calm down. Bella gets a little excited when she sees water and we're slowing down.
That is pretty much the town of Atlin. Let's just do a U-turn and we'll just drive back. See if we can get down to the water area. A little bit more. Oh, this is the sort of municipal RV park, if you want to call it that. There's an office.
Turn around here.
Yeah. I think she needs to pee.
Shh, we'll get you out in a minute. We'll go down and see the boat. We'll let you out.
There's a Unimog there. Old military Unimog.
Stop. In a minute, we'll let you out.
Wow, look at those mountains. With that island in front of it.
Atlin
Lake.
Lake.
I mean, this is amazing. Some houseboats over there on the island. And there's the sister ship.
Look at these cute little cabins you can rent.
Oh, yeah.
Marina rental. No vacancy. Yes, we'll let you out.
Alright.
Can you pull over here so I can let her out, please? Sorry.
I said
So
no
we're-
parking, that's why I didn't want to park.
'Cause I think someone has to whittle. Mom, you got her shoes on back?
This is the end of the road, British Columbia.
This is it.
This is it.
Beautiful mountains.
Yeah, just getting the terrain in there, the boat. Get it right, terrain.
Terrain.
And then these mountains are amazing.
With Atlin Lake in the background.
Yeah. And some person's house back door is open and they're just cranking the
music.
tunes and it sounds really good, to be honest with you. But yeah.
We're going to explore a little bit and see what happens. Ciao for now.
So here we are at the other end of Atlin Lake. And what do we find? We find another ship, the Terrain. It was also built for the Atlin Lake tourist trade, along with the previous boat that we saw, the SS Touchy. Now, the views here are spectacular, and this is what I really would call Switzerland. And as I said before, I've never been there, but the views from this place, the water, and again, the day that we were there, it was absolutely magnificent with its small harbour. Just outside is a picnic table built on the old distillery. But from here we could relax with a little bit of wind, but that sun just beaming down on us, looking at these absolutely phenomenal views of the glacier and the mountains around us. Not sure if you can see those people clearly here, but they are, I'm not sure if they're students. We are going to go and investigate this helicopter. We might take a charter with that guy. We're going to go and experience a price inquiry with regards to this. It could be interesting to fly around here. Apparently down there, around 2-hour boat ride, there is the Glacier. There is an ice field down there. I'm not sure if you're going to... This boat right here will take you right down. It's a 2-hour boat ride to where the glacier actually is, right down there. And this red building is an unofficial US headquarters for ice field research. Now the problem I had is my other camera just died, and there was a whole pile of students that just walked through this bay area, and they were saying that they take the 2-hour boat ride to the inlet, then it's a 17-kilometer hike up to their research facility. They are US students. Their headquarters is in Juneau, Alaska, and they are heading back shortly. I don't know, in a couple of days or a week. They're going to go back over to Skagway and take the Marine Highway, which is the US ferry system up here. I think it goes as far south as Seattle. This whole bay that we're in right here, I believe, is called the Brewery Bay. You can see the chalets behind us, and the sign over my shoulder here says the Brewery Bay Marina. And just over there where we had lunch, just to the sort of left as you're looking at it, of that boulder, there's a little picnic area. It says beware of glass. This is the old brewery site. We were talking to the local RCMP officer who was just, what are they called, allowing these US students onto Canadian soil. They were just checking the passports and everything else. He's here for 3 years, and he's done 1 year so far, and he said that the weather here is pretty good. They have occasional bad weather. Last year was bad, but again, it's not as bad as they say. Today's a beautiful day, but we've got ominous grey clouds coming in over there. But like most of BC on the west coast, it's wet. So yeah, he's an East Coaster, and he's on 3 years, and he's done 1 of 3 years so far. So we're going to go and find out where the heliport is, and we're going to see if they do a tour, and we're going to find out how much that is. They do a charter, which is $1,200. Well, that's a charter, but we're looking after a tourist thing, so let's go see. As I said, we had problems with our camera batteries after that, but we headed back up from Atlin to Carcross. We didn't video this section, but we did take some still shots, and they do not do it justice for the incline of the sand dunes that we were on. The closest I can get are these ones here of how steep it actually looks, but it was an amazing drive again, and Sandra really loved it. Exiting Carcross, we came across 2 bears. One ran into the forest, but we managed to stop and get this one. I know that it's a bit pixelated, unfortunately, but it's a black bear, even though it looks brown. Now, I've heard that these bears are black bears. Jeff has given us some information on them. They can also be known as cinnamon bears. But upon us stopping and watching him, he decided to depart and head off to find his buddy. So this was a really nice surprise for the end of our day trip to Atlin. Now over to Sandra.
Just a little information. Sorry we have to redo this again. Our battery went dead. Checked out some tours for helicopter in Atlin. I was blown away, actually. The price, they're all private. They're all mostly deal with they mostly, sorry, I'm being attacked by mosquitoes. They all deal with charters. It doesn't matter where you go. So to find someone, they do tours, guided tours and that, but for an hour to fly to the glacier was $1,800. Ouch. You get to land on the glacier maybe for 10 minutes and fly back home to get dropped off. half hour, which is just flying low over the town, about $900. So unfortunately, we did not do this one this time.
So we got the fire going, got it down to some nice coals, and Sandra came up with a plan. Let's do nachos in the Dutch oven on the open fire. And man, they were awesome. Congratulations to Sandra for coming up with that idea. Followed by, we got ourselves ready for the evening. We knew Jeff was going to come by, and that was because he'd said that he would like to come by and have a chit chat, but we're going to talk more about that in the coming videos. And this is just a quick glimpse of how our setup with the mosquito screen with the awning deployed worked for us. This shot, I must admit, was about 10 after 11 at night. Beautiful weather, and you can see how daylight stays up high in the summertime in the Yukon.